Well, well, well. We are back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 is about to begin between the sides of Lotac and Detonators, and I mean, you said you don't care either way, because, you know, this isn't TNC in this one, and you got boys on both sides, alright?
Exactly.
You're a bit of an SEA pimp, alright? Is that the way to look at it? Are we going to see you in a purple suit tomorrow with a feather hat?
I'd like to, yeah. I'm thinking green, actually, like acid green.
The the PBD stance on NA, you're gonna take that for SEA. Like, I made this region. Sup? Just stand there.
Yeah, that suit me. I'd like some backup dancers as well.
I'm not sure the budget reaches to backup dances.
No.
Especially if you require them to form a pyramid. But what you might be allowed to have is a draft forming here, because we've got a few picks.
So I do get a lineup.
You do. It's just not the kind of lineup behind you jiggling for 20s. It's the kind of lineup in front of you that are jiggling for ESL Duelers eventually. And we do get a pretty chill, pretty composed opening from Detonator as they pick up the Lich and the Tusk. You right?
Why am I
serious face there?
Why did I do that to myself? You know, sometimes you're sitting there and you look at this and you're like, oh no, the puns, they are coming. He does it anyway.
Call me Rapunzel. You know, if I was any Disney character, I would be Rapunzel, mainly because someone would probably lock me in a tower and leave me there. These heroes, however, are not locked places and left. In fact, they are picked a lot at the moment, or they are just locked away in the ban pool. The Lich and Rubik especially. The Brewmaster sneaks through because everyone seems focused on Magnus and Beastmaster, though.
Yes, and funnily enough, there is the respect ban of the Sand King for Lotac leaves the PA open, but it seems like nobody feels like picking the Phantom Assassin anymore. I wonder why.
Yeah, people seem to be off the assassin bandwagon. SCA has learnt their lesson. Not 2 assassins, just 1.
Well, I would like to see not a single assassin this game. Detonator has an amazing opening for brawling here. Lotac has a bit less with Rubik, but he always, like, picking up a Rubik early is always yes. People can pick stuff that doesn't have great uses for you to steal, but on the other hand, then you have to pick things that have no great spells.
I mean, that is part of the case. There's also the fact that Rubik mid is a hot thing right now, can do a lot of damage in that mid game, controls the tempo very well, and Arcane Supremacy is like someone got drunk and then spilt things on the keyboard, tried to wipe it, and in the process recoded how the hero works, because, quite frankly, he's insane. Yeah,
it is more like, you know, someone was balancing the damage numbers and they put the 0 too much in. It's
a little bit
pretty ridiculous. I have seen, though, that just with Dazzle's core, Rubik core tends to have a problem actually staying on top and finishing out. It's very hard for him to make sure that he maintains that tempo, never actually loses it, and then also still helps his team out enough. Because often when these heroes run away with the game, they soak up extra resources, but in the end you're still a Dazzle or a Rubik, and those resources are not going to whoever you're actually using to push the base with in the end.
Well, that's the thing. It's all about this mid-game pressure. You know, you're eventually going to curb off a little bit, so you could look to see them set that up in regard that they'll have a hard carry similar to what Detonators are committed to here, which is a Juggernaut, which, by the way, combos galore here. Lich Frost Shield with spin does work.
Yes.
It's freaking insane. And if you had a Tusk in there, I think we're going to see a lot of First Blood potential already from Detonators.
Yes, I would hope that they pick up the Ice Shards this time, though.
That might help with the First Blood potential, yes. Would advise.
This is a Raven Morphling.
This could be scary.
Boy.
I've seen this like Morphling Tusk right now, because of the change of the tag team. It's actually a very good steal. Like, if you change into Morphling. Morphling changed into Tusk. Actually, come to think of it, I haven't seen of tag team stacks. Because technically, if it does... Yeah, you know where I'm going with this.
Oh, yes. They have the stealing lineup. What I want to see is, I want to see this Morphling morph into Rubik, activate, the aura.
It's a passive. It just is there.
Yeah, but I know, like...
I think it's...
double.
I'm not sure if it stacks. I haven't tested... if that stacks, then good God, I'm just going to close the game right now. Because
Please
if you
don't.
get...
I want to see this.
If you get a hard stun...
I want it.
Oh, you've already got a hard stun.
Yeah.
Morphling just shotguns you at max strength. You're stunned for... I'm not going to do the maths on that because that's not my job. But yeah, rest of the match seems like a reasonable shout.
I do the numbers, don't worry.
Thank God. I was worried then for a second. They bring me in for my voice. Being British is an advantage. We don't have to be good at maths. Or Dota, actually. We leave that to other people we bring in. And I'm wondering what Detonator is going to bring in now, because they have a solid start to this. They still need an offlaner, though.
I got a feeling that here they really need to... They have such good synergy with this Jug. They can put him anywhere right now. You can dual lane this with either. You can tri lane. You can aggro with that if you'd want to. But I got a feeling that this Morphling is going to be mid.
Quite possibly. That's another hero that has a lot of flexibility in where you lane him. And that's kind of the thing, like, picking that means you haven't committed hard to the safe lane or the mid. The Rubik mid is still in the back of your mind, and Detonator have to respond with the pick in regard to that. Not a bad way to go. Definitely gives them some push, because Detonator right now, like, you actually look at this. With the Juggernaut plus Shaman, they have a lot of potency at high ground.
This is going to be a core Shaman.
Free, I think, is the most popular way to run this right now. It's pretty effective.
Yeah. I was there when, well, actually before the debut, when we were sitting in the TNC training room in KL discussing, like, alright, what are our favorite picks into Morphling gonna be? And Cuckoo says Shadow Shaman. And there's a couple question mark faces, and then there's me. Yes! Do it! Wait, you sure? Yes, do it.
This isn't some Pasha Shadow Shaman, by the way. These wards will be committed at towers. They will be effective. Or on the Morphling, and they will be effective.
But you know what I really liked about that Pasha moment is that it shows you that one misclick does not define the game. I am actually going to show that clip to people who really zone in on, like, they really zoom in on one mistake. Sometimes they're like, oh man, if you hadn't done this, we would have won this fight. And I'm like, dude, here's best fucking offlaner in the world. Well, not the best, but one of the best, just dropping his wards nowhere in a final and laughing about it.
Like, Dota has ripple effects, but it's not like just one big splash is the point to make. Unless you're like 50, 60 minutes of the game.
It makes as much impact as you let it make. If he would have gone hands into his hair, desperation, oh no, I screwed up, we lost, then yeah, they would have probably lost. They won that one.
But this is a decent way of dealing with that Lotac picked up. Abaddon, the Aphotic Shield, will stop the lockdown coming out from the Shaman.
Abaddon is a great pick here. Also, to protect the Morphling in general, because that's, after all, what that Shadow Shaman core is picked up for. You go in on the Morphling with an insta-hacks, with immediate follow-up on Shackles. You will be disabled before you can get your Morph off, and you'll be disabled until you're dead.
It'll be interesting to see this, if this is going to be Brewmaster support or core, because you could interchange these two. Abaddon's support hasn't been seen for quite a while, right? You have to blow your dust off it if you're going to bring it out here. It's the book right at the back that no one touches.
Yeah, I don't... like. If I had to guess, I'd say that it's not a net hero and much more of an Ohio hero. Ohio, we've seen that he likes this playstyle where he just sticks to a lane. He's going to sit there, he's going to farm, then he joins at the right moments.
And of course, if you go ahead and neglect the presence of Abaddon, he does have the means to go, for example, a Helmet Dominator build if you want to. Go for those early pushes, especially with the changes now to the way his passive works. He's a lot more threatening, he's a lot more present. He's not something you can just ignore.
No, he's definitely not. And I would argue that he wasn't in the beginning either. But Abaddon is one of those heroes whose impact is more subtle than, you know, there's no big explosions, there's no huge things to scream about. It's just that, oh, he takes the stun off. Wow. Well, yes, actually, yes.
No, it's definitely, especially with the changes, like, you can already see it from Detonators. They are avoiding going for some sort of magic immunity piercing stun, because now Abaddon's out. That's kind of a definite you don't do this. Right now, because of the way that BKBs are stronger, like they've got to look towards this, that Morphling will eventually get a BKB online, and because you were so reliant on that Shackles lockdown, what's your final choice? Do you just double down on trying to lock him in, or do you just try and bolster your own lineup and make your Juggernaut's life easier now?
Well, it all comes down to whether or not they think that this is a mid Rubik and a support brew or not. Because I think it is. I think this is mid Rubik.
It's looking like it. Like Lion, you could see a Lion mid. Unlikely. That'd be something. Look at the DK's.
I think this DK is. They just said, "All right, sure, you do whatever," and that's what you want.
All right. So it looks like it is gonna be the mid Rubik, and it is gonna be the off lane Abaddon, which is, I mean, that's gonna be interesting to watch. Abaddon is a hero I don't think I've seen once this patch so far. He's just been neglected, but as we were saying, like with the changes to Curse of Venice now giving you an active effect, that's a big change. But on top of that, we said it before when we kept seeing the Beastmaster, towers, they just crumble now. Like before, you leave this guy alone for 3 minutes, he'll deal with your tower. Now it's like 2, 2.5, it's gone. And that ramps up very quickly with this lineup.
It does. And he's a great carrier for all kinds of stuff. Like, you want a Vlad? He'll build it for you. You want him to go blink Radiance? Sure. Want him to get a Midas? Want him to get a Mag? He does everything. You can go so many ways with this Abaddon. And I do think that this is, like, they get to do some more experimental stuff because, let's face it, Raven is an amazing Morphling. And a Morphling can always carry a game in the end. So they also get to improvise a little bit. I gotta say, on the other hand, Detonator's draft is not as spectacular, but it is much more, or I should say less complicated. It's very straightforward. You have your disables, you have your damage dealers, you got several people for the towers, you got several ways to siege, you got pick off, you got wave clear. I really like their lineup as well. I just think that Lotac has more direct counters and more ways to outplay within their draft.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more conditions for victory for Lotac, and that Chuan has to have a good start. He has to control that tempo, whereas Detonator, like, it's maybe a little bit more we're going to get roughed up early on, but between the Shaman, the Dragon Knight, and how Juggernaut with his...
they have the ease of execution.
Yeah, when they get late game, they're going to plow through towers, and there's going to be no contesting that. But we got our drafts. We've got a game.
Let's see.
Let's see how this is going to play out. That's right, folks. Game number 2 between the sides Lotac and Detonators. And Detonators, they don't want to go down the low bracket. They don't want to have to end up there. They want to try and even up this score. But Lotac...
the one who drops down is quite probably going to face TNC again.
Yeah, and that is the big risk variable. You know, TNC, there's going to be questions about how they lost that previous game. Or series, rather. And... you know, whether they can bounce back, because they are still, despite how we're seeing this, like on paper, they are clearly the favorites in this region. And if you can dodge them out, just move through to the finals, where you can contest them. I think there's a best of 3 there as well.
Yeah. I would love to see Lotac actually move into the spot that, you know, they've been hyped to take all this time, because people have been disappointed. I have been disappointed by Lotac's performance up until now.
I think it should be highlighted as well. Something that people often forget about is that you can't just look at teams laterally. It's not just this team is better than this team. A lot of the time, it's this team counters this team's playstyle.
Style matchups.
And that really does matter. For all we know, if Lotac do go down against TNC, they could then go down against TNC because it is a different style to what Detonator's put out.
Yep.
Rune-wise, 2 apiece. Doesn't look like there's going to be any contest.
Yeah, Fly Solo can't do much against an Abaddon up in his face.
Gotta respect it. This hero hits pretty hard at level 1, 62 damage. And of course, if you chose to put a point in Curse of Vernus straight away, 30% slow, don't underestimate what it does.
And especially if you let it stack up and the silence comes out, you are silenced for
it goes and it goes from 10 to 30%. That's the other important part. The active has a stronger slow. It's actually the part we haven't got to see in action too much in pro games at the moment. Definitely something to consider. And Raging Potato did just get that deny. They mistimed the stun there.
Unfortunate.
I thought he'd go for the spin. Raging Potato will do a decent amount of damage to Ohio here. They're going to get him low. He should be able to move away, but it hurts a lot on Lion. He just wanted to get the creep wave.
I am very surprised that Ohio went for the cursed level 1. I don't think that Lion Abaddon is a lane that you're going to kill with.
It's really not. You're not going to get your value out of that. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, looks like Yamate is experiencing a little bit of pain because you have got the Drunken Brawler, but it's up against a Tusk and a Shaman. Now, Shaman already hits pretty damn hard. But with the tag team damage especially, trading is a very simple thing for the side of Detonators in this lane.
Oh yeah, like normally if there's a range support, I would be like, tag team first again? But if you're up against the Brewmaster, yeah, sure. He wants to hit you, just hit him back. What's he gonna do? Call his mom?
The mid is looking pretty decent for Chiron so far. Like, this is a lane matchup you don't see too often as Rubik. Mid is a more recent thing at the moment, but you have to keep in mind that everyone thinks Dragon Knight does great because it's pretty far. Well, guess what? Rubik has a way of reducing your damage as well with the Fade Ball.
Yep. He just has a little bit less control and a little bit less damage. So his sustain is going to be the biggest problem. I don't think either should die here in this mid lane.
Watch, we'll be here in a minute's time. Someone will be dead. Someone might be dying in the bot. Yamate's been caught here. He's going to try and walk away with the Drunken Brawler. A lot of damage being done. They should be able to get him low, but they can't find the final tap. Even Shock's still on cooldown. Being a tanky support does pay off in this regard, but while that's happening, not so tanky in the top lane, they find a kill on the Lion.
He died solo off to the side to the Lich?
It looked like it. That is an interesting occurrence there.
I think he caught a Frost Blast to the face and then just got ticked down by the Frost Shield.
It looks like it. Not respecting new Lich. It's like, I'm lying, I win these fights easily.
And not anymore.
It's like this argument between them two. It's like, I'm pulling the creep. No, I'm pulling the creep wave. Ohio's spending a lot of time out of the lane though. You can't afford to give Jug breathing space in this lane, I don't think.
He is going to, like, this is one of those things again, right? I was talking before about the acceleration. The Jug is going to accelerate much faster than Raven.
Just watching the mid as Dragon Knight is almost dead, by the way. After what we said. Just a casual Rubik playing the lane out. Forces the regen to come ferried out. And yeah, I think you're right. Like, Raven, he needs that ramp up off a big item. Like, levels are decent, don't get me wrong, but you don't really start finding kills until you get your hands on, like, an E-Blade, for example. And actually, being pressured pretty hard here. The low levels of morph means you can't morph quickly. Snowball through, a lot of damage from the Eve Shock. They're going to turn around. Raven forced to fight here, are getting low. And actually, Sam H is the target. They turn around and they get bamboozled. Trying to move away, he's got the Eve Shock to work with, but Yamate looking to get close here. The clap's going to come out. If he needs to final tap, he'll find it. Commando range there as he apparently is now Monkey King.
That was several pretty lucky moments after one another. First he gets enough speed, then he gets the crit.
Just a little, let's talk about the distance element there. And Lich in the top. Playing overly aggressive here. Raging Potato needs to be careful himself. We'll move away. Meanwhile, Tusk, he's going to go down the bomb. All right, Lotac. They ain't waiting around. Kills galore as they find them in multiple lanes.
Yeah, the Rubik was rotating towards bot, but...
Not needed.
Not needed. Yeah, now he leaves the regen rune for Raven, actually.
That's very
He's been
generous.
having a good enough time. Now his carry can just return to lane immediately.
I mean, good. You say good enough time. He's ahead of the DK by 7. And he's got 5 more denies. Like, this is a fantastic start for the Rubik.
That's a, you know, understatement. I have you for the overstatements.
That is my job. I'm pretty good at it, folks. Runes? Look at the pick. Fly Solo, do not commit to that. Alright, he's going to back away. He's going to be chased onto. Ohio, is he quick enough for this? He's got the Frost Shield on cooldown for a long time, actually. They might be able to find it. If he gets slowed right now. There we go, get moving. Spike through, and they should have the damage to finish off Lich.
They were nearly in the mid lane by now.
Yeah, you can already see Ben here is like, do I need to be worried about a secondary kill? But luckily for him, Chiron was off using the shrine.
And Ohio just TPs back to top instead of walking. That's what I'd do.
Wasted time. He's already behind on XP. Even before that kill, it did cost him that. But this is kind of the way this lane's been playing out. Raging Potato has actually not left this lane once.
Sam H, you okay?
Yeah, that's the define okay. A Raven? Are you okay?
Mercy was had.
He can't actually commit now. Or can he? No, he's going to be left behind. Hex coming out. Shackles, it says, if I'm going to die, you're going to waste time on this. A tip coming out. Raven says, well deserved, good sir. Efficiency is you make me take longer to get the kill, maybe miss a last hit or two.
Fly Solo thought about coming into the mid lane, but instead he's going to run into Yamate here.
Who is twice his level. Would move away quickly like that if I was you, Fly Solo.
Seems like the interference from Ohio and Net on the top lane did do a lot of work against him at least.
Oh, they're moving in here. Oh, so close. Rage Uptear is going to turn around. The spin doing a lot of damage. Net getting low. Body shield protect. They can actually chase through now. Hexed up. He can't move away quick enough. If this shield goes pop, he's in trouble. Yes, he doesn't have enough for the Omni Slash. They don't even realize it just yet. The silence comes out. The slow's there as well. And that's going to be a kill into the Juggernaut. Big pick off achieved. And this is actually the result. You just see Fly Solo moving up now. He can't exist in this lane. He's already behind on XP. He's still level 2. He actually doesn't offer enough now.
They're gonna murder him as soon as he walks up. He's really gonna sneak in some XP from the trees.
He needs something. Like that's the thing. When you look at this and you look at the way this is going, you have to look at the XP disparity. And right now, it is on the supports. Fly Solo, compared to this line, it's just 2 levels behind. And line has so much utility to work with.
Sam H.
Going in on him. He's been left alone. He's going to be found. They are spending so much time away. He's getting punished for it. Spin coming out from the Juggernaut, trying to move in on the Net here. He does have the Omni Slash to work with. Net waiting this out. Hex is going to be there. He's taking too much damage. He will go down. Now chase it through. Fate Bolt for Gion with the stolen brief fire is enough. They just evaporate this Juggernaut. Fly Solo be chased onto will be allowed to live.
That damage.
Gion's just there going, go Lich. Tell them the story of what happened here. Don't mess with the Rubik.
And he just totters back into lane like nothing happened. One of the things that I wanted to point out about this Rubik is that he has been able to keep the Dragon Knight off of his tower. Normally, when the Dragon Knight hits 6, 7, he's going to go on your tower.
Oh, look at the Dragon Knight now. He's going bot. Snowball in. Lion's been found. Can they connect? Yes, they can to finish him off. Raven turns into the Shaman, but caught out himself. Gonna hex up. Looking to fight here. Clap comes in. Yamate ready to just juke this out. Benno taking way too much damage. Can they get Raven? It's gonna be close. Yes. They get the final touch and they keep the Dragon Knight alive, but barely. Yamate now needs to move away. The tag team onto him. Hexed up goes down as well. Now they can just look towards the tower.
Oh man. I was talking about how, you know, Rubik didn't let his tower go down, but
He
just does the smart thing and he rotates. Sure, he doesn't get the tower here either, but those were some value kills.
Xion looking for a kill in response here. He got the tag team. That's not what he was after. The final touch will not connect and kill off RR. They brought a lot of heroes here to ensure that Rubik found nothing. And Xion, he knows he has to make these plays, but he's wasting a lot of time trying to do them without any outcome.
And he's got clarities on him to just sustain while he's walking back and forth.
He kind of needs it.
Yeah.
At least he's got the tranks. He moves fast between lanes.
A Rubik can jungle a bit, but you're going to get most of your momentum out of kills.
They need to find him some more of that. They should actually maybe try pressure in the mid. They force someone back here. Right now it's Fly Solo just trying to get XP, and this is just beneficial for Detonators.
Yeah, but that's one of the big gaps in Lotac's lineup. But again, by the way, who are they going to hit towers with?
You got the Abaddon when he gets the chance. I mean, he just forced the Juggernaut away.
I usually prefer the Abaddon as the one sitting behind the pusher and not as the pusher himself.
Shaman in trouble here. Well, he ain't going to be pushing. That's one way to make sure there's no push from Detonator.
Oh,
just kill the people that would.
Pushing up the daisies.
He's pushing up the kill count, but not for his side. That's the problem. Lotac find another pick off. And, I mean, that's the more important thing here. Is you said about who's going to attack towers for Lotac. But Detonators, they haven't been able to actually get in and really apply pressure to these towers so far. And their lineup is really focused on that.
Yeah. They have so many abilities that are basically meant just for getting those towers down. And there's... Shaman wards haven't been dropped yet, although he hasn't been 6 for very long yet. But this DK has used his ult twice now and has hit the tower at least 3 times. As Juggernaut's getting nowhere because the Abaddon pushes harder than he does.
And now's the smoke play. They're going to try and look towards this tier 1 with those wards. They can find Xion, though, will be very happy about it as well. They need to be careful not to let him steal.
Ah, he knows.
He Knew something's up, but Snowball's coming in, he's a little bit of trouble. The rotation around the back, Clap's coming out. Fade bolt through, Infrastructure doing a lot of damage, they drop the wards, but now the split coming out. Looking on to Benya. Gonna get him low. The Frost Shield keeping him alive for the time being. Lion, he is the target now. They're gonna get him with a brief fire, but in response, Dragon Knight will be going down, and Xion on the side, gonna run down RR. Rage Potato is here now. He doesn't have the mana for the Omni Slash though. They're chasing through to RR, they'll find the kill with the stolen tag team. And Ohio gonna keep pursuing through. Aphotic Shield to protect Xion. Almost gets the kill on Rage Potato, but it doesn't do enough. Fly solo will go down to Yamatel on the back foot though. And those wards committed only get half the HP of the tier 1 tower.
That is really not enough. There's some beautiful body blocks by Ohio as well in that fight. I really love seeing that, you know, you don't have any spells to throw, but that doesn't mean you can't save your Rubik anymore. No, you just put your big fat butt in the way, and then who's gonna kill him?
Just backing up that booty creates enough time for Rubik to survive. They get nothing out of that, and Detonators, they're starting to lose traction with that. It sounds like an over-exaggeration, but these first few rotations, especially as a Dragon Knight, they really just set the mood of the game. You are a tempo carry.
Yes.
You are not keeping control of this game.
He's moving into the Shadow Blade now, but what you usually do on a Dragon Knight is you help push down the first 3 towers. That will do 2 things for you that make the Shadow Blade attractive. 1, the boost of gold, but 2, the boost of space. This Shadow Blade is not worth nearly as much if the lanes aren't lengthened already. You need less vision on the map for the enemy in order to be off map and actually get those initiations going.
Initiation in the top, coming out from the side of Lotac again. Fly Solo gets ran down with rotation with Xion, and actually Juggernaut went bot. Shackle's coming out on the net. They give over a line kill for that. They'll be happy because now they can push in top onto this tier 1.
Yes, but they are not defending bot. Oh, that's DK ult popped. I guess
that's value though. Like if you get the tower top, tier 1 top is much more important than tier 1 bot.
Yes. This is a good trade, and especially since they get the DK ult for it, and the DK actually realizes that it wasn't that necessary. Oops.
Committed nonetheless. Pressure being applied in the mid as well as Yamatea hangs around and gets that tower down to half HP. Just to match up to what the Serpent Wars did.
Yes. And I imagine that we're going to see Raven mostly playing around his mid lane because he's the hardest target to jump, and also because they need to keep this Shadow Shaman off the tower. Ideally, you don't even let him come up the ramp.
Well, the Dragon Knight in the meantime will apply pressure on the tier 2 here, but Ping's coming out, they're rotating in. Juggernaut is here. Net with the Invis rune though, he's looking for a target. TP in from Brewmaster, they're rotating towards mid. Can they make something happen here?
I think they can pincer the Juggernaut here.
Oh, Dragon Knight has found Xion here. Just as the form runs out, the Blade Fury spinning through with the stolen brief fire. Xion will move away, and while that's happening, Juggernaut goes down. They use the split to find the kill. Snowball through, they need to find this return one. Royce punch out. Xion reduce damage to the brief fire. He should still go down regardless. Doesn't buy enough time for a rotation though, but this does mean that Lotac can find the tier 1 mid.
So, defensive kill for Detonator versus offensive kill enabled by Detonator for Lotac, and you see one of them enables you to get a tower, the other one enables you to defend, probably not.
A big kill nonetheless. Benio needed something, especially getting that Shadow Blade. It will get him closer, but these Elder Dragon forms aren't having the impact he had hoped for so far, as they are trailing on towers already. And looks like Raging Potato is getting close to that Battle Fury. It should start to accelerate him, but the speed at which Lotac can now take towers because of Ohio's pick up the Helm of Dominator plus his Curse of Avernus means that Lotac are going to keep amplifying their gold at a similar rate.
Yeah, I don't see any case in which Detonator take over the game by farming speed alone. Then they should have played their lanes better, for sure.
They'll smoke up. Maybe this can make the difference. They're rotating him right now.
Ohio is such a...
Yeah, Ohio's not the entrance skill. Most definitely not. They're going to go on him anyway. Snowball through. Ice shots. Oh, he face moves. He moves through. He forces the wards to be committed. He might be in a little bit of trouble, but he still has the ultimate to work with. Wards are going to be stopped from attacking him in the meantime. Helen plays the finger, turn around. Tusk's going to get low. Not low enough. Trying to move away. Ohio's still alive. The steal gets the brief fire to make sure they can't keep chasing. But once again, that's wards and also Elder Dragon form used away from a tower.
Yep.
This is actually pretty damning for Detonators now.
Yeah, the moment where the smoke breaks, they are overcommitted, but only in their heads. They feel like they have to. Oh no, we got spot. But you can just take that loss, move on to mid and use those ults on the tower.
And speaking of mid, Ben-Hur, he went aggressive against Morphling. Mistakes being made as a result of that. He should be going down. The Shackle reveal coming out. Sam H, he's shooting, came out here right now. Hex is going to be there, going to chase through as well. Sun should be coming out. Chain Frost bounced across the creep camp instead. The Sam H going to be ran down and found on the side. You will actually see Raven take 2 as he gets rid of both the Dragon Knight and the Shaman.
This is spiraling out of control for Detonators now.
Every move that Lotac makes is unpunished. This is the thing. Detonators, they try to make that move, it fails. Then they get punished. Then they are just forced into full retreat. And you saw that smoke movement from Lotac. They knew what they wanted. And they got all the goodies because they're going to find the tier 2 as well.
And if you want to know an indication of Detonator's mindset right now is that Raging Potato was on bot and he got this lion came in to defend the tower. He could have either reacted by spinning, he could have tried to Omni Slash him and forced out the disables, but he did nothing. He just kept hitting the tower. And then he did a half-hearted spin to get rid of the creep wave and that was it.
I mean, if you
back for more farm.
If you want to see the state of mind, he's still not committed a single Omni Slash. Maybe he was waiting for the level 2 in that scenario, he didn't want to waste the level 1, but still, like Juggernaut, one of his big boons is meant to be in the changes to the Omni Slash.
Yep.
It makes it more feasible to get kills, especially now that you dispel any slows when you use it. Instead, he is definitely feeling threatened in any area of the map. Like, he's only feeling safe here because down in this area, like, this is the least likely area that Lotac comes looking for kills.
It is least contested, yes. Hey, and if he was waiting for the level 2 Omni Slash, you know, I would expect him to rotate now. Do something.
Wants his Battle Fury. He's got the gold now.
Uh-huh. But then, shouldn't you try the Omni Slash Lion?
Apparently not. He just wants his insurance policy, but that's the story for Detonators right now. They don't hold awards for insurance policies, and as a result, they'll finally use them in the right place.
Trade now. And here also, this DK is backing off for the mid tower, even though they see nobody there right now.
They're going back. They realize what's coming. Ohio's ready to hit the high ground. Raven's here as well. The cross shield will slow things down a little bit, but not enough.
Well,
There's the hell there. Might slow him down now. Trying to move in on Yamate, but no, the snowball. Going the wrong way as they TP'd out. Goes the wrong one. The gaze. Dragon in Yamate. He has to split. Will he get out? Rush punch. Holds him in place. He can't split in time. Ohio has to run for the high hills. They were forced back because Raging Potato kept on pushing in the bot lane.
I think Ohio didn't know that the shield wouldn't purge off the gaze.
Oh, and as a result, Ohio's going to be chased onto as well. He actually used the borrowed time pretty damn early there. Can he TP? It's going to be quite the ask. Go for it, but no. Immediately just seen Ben-Hur moves through. Dragon Tail connects, and Ohio, he is going to his grave. Finally will die. Give over a decent amount of gold as well.
Overzealous top push, really.
Yeah, they basically put themselves in a scenario where, pause that for, something important happening here. Juggernaut just got found.
Whoops.
So everything we're about to say good for Detonator, not so much now, because that is a Juggernaut which has not had a Battle Fury more than 2 minutes. Dying.
He only just had that.
Yeah, he picked it, well, he picked it up before the fight top. But yes. Wards committed top, meanwhile, actually. So finally the Serpent Wards are able to get their proper value. Problem is,
dying.
Are they? No, they're going to be farmed. Oh, this is problematic. Shaman is this hero we expected to actually just allow you to plow through these towers, and so far, Lotac.
Well, yes, but you gotta, like, if you commit the wards, the word commit is not in there for nothing. You gotta commit to that tower. Those things don't take a lot of hits.
Detonators just seem reluctant to engage. They know the response that Lotac potentially have. They didn't use a split top when their Brewmaster was killed. On top of that, Morphling, they're like, this guy's got to be approaching item soon. He will have the Manta completed shortly. In fact, he should just have the recipe available to him. I think he's just going straight for the Lincolns. He doesn't care. He just wants to make sure he doesn't get Dragon Tailed or Shackled. Those are his biggest threats.
And so much of this time on Detonator is just not used usefully. Like, they were all hovering around top, then realized maybe we don't want to fight. Actually, yeah, we definitely don't want to fight. And then they leave.
And there's another Look at this Dragon Form. It's nowhere near tower, nowhere near a fight. It feels like Detonators are just trying to juggle the map, but it's not favorable, especially seeing as Lotac are now in the pit.
It's the same story. You show on bot lane, you give him rush.
They should be able to clean this up pretty fast. They're thinking about contesting. Snowball coming out as Tusk moves away. Split was used by Yamate. And we'll try and find something. RR will be able to retreat. Raven picks up the Aegis. And while you are showing bot, they know you maybe have wards soon, but it's going to be level 1 wards, and they know Elder Dragon Form is running out, so there's no rush to get to the bot lane.
It could have been a decent plan, but then they shouldn't have had committed the wards on top, or committed to the wards on top.
I mean, they could have committed towards bot, but it would have been just as bad in that scenario. Meanwhile, bad things happen for Yamate. As his split runs out, he wanted value out of it so badly, he ends up giving his life. Interesting life choices being made. That's something for the side of Detonators. The problem is what happens in the next 2-3 minutes, because that bot lane has been out of Lotac's focus. But now, with an Aegis, they can easily push in, look for a tier 1, then a tier 2. Suddenly your whole base is exposed. Meanwhile, top, Net is a little bit too far forward here. I believe we finally have an Omni Slash. Onto a solo line. Similar scenario to what we saw a few minutes back, but this one...
Omni Slash is now on Rubik. But that's one thing that Detonator remembered very correctly, is that Omni Slash on Rubik is no longer...
Just not the biggest deal anymore. No. It will still... Well, it'll still be annoying. Alright, imagine this guy just Omni Slashing slowly around the fight, stealing your spells.
Whop, whop, whop.
Also has a blink. He can choose his target specifically.
My BAT sucks. Whop, whop, whop.
Hey, not if he's attacking the target that gets Curse of Avernus.
Ah, I am not next level enough.
There you go. You gotta imagine this team and how they're gonna organize themselves around that beautiful buff.
Oh, there he goes. Omni Slash.
Omni Slash out. Raging Potato will heal up. Actually does get rid of the healing ward in the end. And steals the healing ward because this is a much better spell.
It is. Like, that is actually a huge steal. If I were him, I'd be going like, hey, which tower do you want, Raven? Right about now. Because they can go for anything now. They have the Aegis. They have healing ward. They can push.
And if you're Raven, your response is all to towers. You can already see the line being drawn
up,
because Detonators expect this. The smoke comes out. They're going to look to breach. Yum.
But are they going to be able to get up the high ground before this defense is organized? Yamate is leading the charge.
Smoke pops. There's the blink forward. Net stuns on the free. Moving in. The finger coming out. Lich getting low on HP, trying to move away. The split's coming out. He is down already. Ben here has a stun up, trying to move away, but there's a borrowed time. Ohio chasing through. BKB forced out Ben here. He's going to go for the TP away. It'll be successful. Can they find more on the side? RR seen. They hold Sam H up in the air. Hexed up when he comes down. He's going to fall as well. And those wards are not in a favorable location from Detonators again. They're still hunting. Snowball. Shion's going to drag him back, trying to move away the blink, will be successful. A little bit too close for comfort though. Raven did not try for the waveform through. They actually might just go mid.
That's done by Net.
That was beautifully done. And I believe that was the blink reveal as well.
It was. Hey.
Raging Potato. Okay, this is an all-in attempt at defense right now. Needs to be careful. He does have the Omni Slash. Will manage to move away. Now stunned up. Rubik in response. Going to go down. They're going to find him. Chain Frost bouncing around. Net getting low on HP. Has to move away. Ohio standing his ground alongside Raven. They're going to lose line as well. They need to get everyone else out. Ohio has the borrowed time coming off. Cooldown. And it commits Omni Slash. Ohio. Buyback out from line. They say, actually, we might be able to fight this now. Raging Potato is no longer a threat.
They used up the entire Omni Slash.
That timing. Ohio just balls of steel standing there, kites them out just the right amount.
Yeah, and they want to turn this now. I have no doubt. This is... Detonator realized just in time that they shouldn't push further. Ohio was only going back to grab a creep because the Aegis is still up.
It is indeed.
Lotac should just go again, and they can now actually move up into that high ground where they wanted to go before. But uncontested, ward up, take it a bit slower.
Fly solo. Alright, Raven goes for the Corey instead. He doesn't want to be too aggressive with the Aegis, of course, because it is being reclaimed very soon.
Yeah. So, the way they're positioned right now is very clever. They claim that piece of high ground so that nobody can disturb Ohio going to work on this tower. And meanwhile, Chiwan keeps the DK off of the mid lane, so the only threat is on top lane really, but you're fine with trading that.
That's the thing. If they commit the wards there, then you actually might even go high ground. You're on the side of Lotac.
Ah, there was still a glitch.
There we go. Yeah, they committed the wards. The tier 2 in the top. Detonators need something. Be interested if Lotac back off after this tier 2. They are being slowed down by the Frost Armor a decent amount.
It's hard to do it, but honestly, you want to save the wards there. Save him. Either wait until they come defend, or use him on that high ground.
Rage of Terror. He'll get the spin off in time. He'll be able to make his escape. He did force them to come back as well, so Lotac's aggression will end there.
Good enough.
We'll take that.
Ice Armor did a lot of work, as you said, on that bot lane.
And kept it alive long enough that it was a favorable trade. Of course, the difference for Lotac here is it's much simpler. They still have that tier 2 mid, which splits up the map a decent amount. So when we look at this Roche next, it's game deciding for Lotac. For Detonators, they need it to stay in this.
And Ohio just finished his Radiance. If he wasn't enough of a nuisance before, he's going to be both a big teamfight presence as well as that he's going to scale in farm now.
Meanwhile, Morphling has completed the Manta. And this is where things get a little bit scary. Remember, especially with Dragon Tail, like Lincoln's hop on something, Dragon Tail's...
Smoke on smoke.
Oh no, they're going to move in. The lift comes out first on his Juggernaut, Aura's Punch, control up the Rubik. But still through, Chain Frost bouncing around, Shion's going to get low the finger. They still haven't killed off the Juggernaut. He's mana dodging up now, the DD coming through the Omni Slash, moving between this, he gets rid of Yamate. He's dead so quickly, they're going to turn around, look for more. Raven forced to fight, mostly strength though. BKB out from Bennett, so he can't get stunned up. They're going to turn around, looking at R instead. Snowball comes out though. Trying to make his escape through, but he can't. Raven locked on the spot, nowhere to run, and Waveform still on cooldown. He's going to fall. And that is a massive fight for the side of Detonators.
Did you see that Manta dodge?
Perfectly done, and on the edge of his seat there as he had barely 200 HP scraped together. But that changes everything here because now Detonators, they can apply some pressure. Much needed at this stage as well.
Lotac were so close together that Omni Slash just shredded through them. They thought they had him. They did not, no sir.
And now the gaze coming out. Ohio start key. He hasn't got borrowed time for 12 seconds. No last second save this time around. Or is it the missed chances coming out from the Radiance? He moves too fast. Phase Boots have an active now, folks. Let's not forget this. You got to think about that when you think about your ice shards. They might get the tower. They actually might get denied by the looks of it.
I think they get the denied.
Yeah, they do. And Roche might be up in just a minute's time. So Detonators, they had an opportunity to get on the map, but I think one of the biggest concerns is I don't think they really expected this because you look at the Vision game, they did get down this one ward that is very unlikely to get dewarded, but it's not giving too much information either.
It's an important crossroads, because this is roughly the place where you'd expect Radiant to kill the mid creep wave before moving anywhere. So if they kill it here and they move to the left, you'll know. If you kill it here and you don't see them after, you also know.
Fly Solo's in trouble here. And he's definitely going down. I think the thing to highlight though is like if you end up in a kind of Roche engagement, you can't see anyone TPing to the shrine here.
No.
So it's like if they smoke early from their base to go to the Roche pit, it's very selective. I think like in the scenarios they're in, it could get value, but it's playing in a very defensive way for Detonators, right?
Sorry, I'm giggling
like the
a little
Shadow
bit.
Blade.
Yeah, Hugh hesitated.
Dust reveal a little bit too late. RR going for the TP away, and they guess wrong with the Earth Spike.
I mean, Net got 4 heroes with 1 Earth Spike before. It stands to reason that he's gonna pay for it with.
He's allowed to just throw them out, right? No, you look at it the wrong way. He's justified the ability to just throw them out all willy-nilly, right? It'll pay off eventually. Miss 100% the Earth Spikes you just don't take.
Agreed. It's funny, I see much more aggressive positioning coming out from Lotac now than before when they still held the Aegis. They do have a full item more for Raven now, so that might be it. But I would have liked to see more of this positioning instead of the smokes into bot lane. Back when they could actually...
Ranger Potato. A little bit cheeky. Uses spin and just TP away. He doesn't want to risk it. But only Ohio had to come back. This is one of the big benefits of the Abaddon in this lineup, is you can do that. And while that's happening, Dragon Knight! Raven finds him. Your tankiest hero, your hardest to kill hero, dies in the bat of an eye.
And the timing for Detonator is once again.
This was one of the things we highlighted on last year's Detonator, is this is where you can exploit them, as around Roche and how they set up for it.
Well, there was a Juggernaut bot.
That maybe allows you to do certain things, as we saw there. Those sort of things include an Aegis and a Cheese for a lineup that has Abaddon and a Morphling. Everyone gets to live, folks. This is the fairy tale story so far for Lotac. They more or less just get themselves a freebie.
Yes, and in spite of them being 5k behind, not like 4 minutes ago.
The dip is turning into more of, you know, a V or a canyon.
A valley.
Yeah, a nice valley. V for valley, folks. And Juggernaut just trying to tank up now. Goes for the Scardy next. They need it. Dragon Knight's the one to look at, though, and he's kind of identified a utility role in just trying to just tank up and enable the Juggernaut more. Really going to be about the Omni Slash when the next fight happens. If they can get a godly one like they did last time.
Oh yeah, for sure. If Raging Potato can play like that all game, Detonator can pull this one out. But so far, Raven is at that point where he can conveniently do whatever he wants. This is his game now.
It's also the sustain that's going to come out because Yamate is targeting that Vlad's next, which is a big pickup when you've got both the Abaddon and the Morphling. It's going to enable a high ground push much easier for the side of Lotac. There's less threat to them at that stage. And I'm just looking at, for example, Sam H especially. There's too many targets. Like, you need to look down the Brewmaster. The Lion is clearly a threat. Morphling was the whole priority of you being picked.
Yes. But I think at least it's easy. You ignore the Abaddon.
Yeah, until he silences you like he just did the tower.
Oh no, now my tower can't cast spells. This is not Artifact.
Yeah, I was saying, how great would it be if you just... Oh, pause that for. They're moving in Juggernaut. The Snowball saving time, moving out right now. Going to stun up on Ohio, get him low. They don't want to pop the borrowed time just yet. Ease the cheese. They're going to fight up against this Bennett with the BKB. Forcing them out. The split was used by Yamate. It's a full retreat. Ohio, he's still got the borrowed time. They're just trying to will him down right now. Hexed up as well. They could go for the shackles if they want to. They drop the wards. Now the borrowed time coming out. Ohio moving in the waveform through. Raven looking for a target. RR. 2 hits on him with the Curse of Vernus. Not enough. The Omni Slash coming out only on Ohio. He should be going down here, but he tanks the whole thing. Moving away. He'll still burn up though. Now looking to turn around. Snowball through. Lion stunned up by the Walrus Punch. Going to get low. There's the Ether Shock to finish him off. Chasing through on the Yamate as well. Brewmaster has no easy way out of this. The Ice Shards to lock him in place. The Ether Shock plus the Shackles will be enough.
That is an impressive defense by Detonator, gotta say. But like, for me, the highlight is still Raven. He morphed into Ohio and shielded the Abaddon.
It bought so much time, but in the end, it didn't do enough. The borrowed time is committed, and then as they prove they have enough stuns to just wait it out.
Once again, this is the 3rd time that Lotac is approaching high ground very haphazardly. Like, they expect that it's just gonna get handed to them. Detonator saying nope.
Well, Raven says thank you very much, though. Trying for a kill, and Bennett won't be able to find it in time. Shadowblade to get him away. Nice save coming out from Sam H. And this is kind of the thing to look at as well. Detonators, they may be making these interesting choices around the Roche timings. The high ground defense is pretty damn solid, and Lotac are really struggling to breach that.
Yeah, I've been impressed by their fighting in general in the previous series as well. And what can I say? There is no siege on Lotac. You can't stand there and hit the tower from a distance. You gotta commit the Abaddon, or you gotta wait even longer and arrive at the point where Raven is just too tanky. And I got a feeling that that's what's gonna happen. Raging Potato doing his thing on bot lane again.
I'm just waiting for an Abyssal pickup. Just enough is enough with this man. Just stun him when he tries to spin out, then what? But, you know, that was the thing I was going to hit on, right? Imagine if... How about this for a nice change? Abaddon. If he Curse of Avernus the throne, you can't glyph. I mean, you're almost game over at that stage, but how if you... Imagine losing like a major because of that.
That would probably be reason enough to get the ability removed from the game again.
Abaddon just becoming a hero, and here I am, making sure he gets killed off for good. Meanwhile, Detonator is looking to kill someone off for at least a lengthy amount of time as they smoke up and invade Lotac's jungle.
They're baiting Ohio, but I think the thing about a good bait is that you bait something they want. And the Abaddon is the thing you do not want. You literally make the do not want face when that hero comes strolling into this. I wanted to kill someone, but this...
Definitely not the entrance kill that they'd look for.
No, exactly. So if you want to smoke behind a hero, smoke behind something that's interesting, something that is not the most survivable thing on your team. do the solo thing. I have heard people talk about how irritating solo is because you see when he's just wandering through the river, you don't know if his entire team is behind him or if he's just on a warding trip.
Especially when it comes to Roshan. That man is infamous for throwing himself at the enemy team to buy a few crucial seconds.
Yes. And that's... Then the enemy is... Well, then someone like Solo gets into your head. He's like, okay, is he alone? Is he just messing with me? I could be... Like, you'll be hitting yourself if you're missing a solo kill on a Bane or something like that. But on the other hand, what if there's 3 people on the high ground salivating?
But more to the point, on the other hand, it's a Bane kill, right? It's like, that's the other argument.
Yeah,
like, risk versus reward. It's like, it's not very high for a support. It's an easy kill, but what if?
But it is so hard to resist. I hear that time and time again. Like, you still want it. Like some... you know, sugary snack that you know it's not good for you, but you still want it. Am I gonna get a toothache? Probably. But I want it.
I don't know, that's exactly the way they feel. Just those illusions alone, like Juggernaut, is this the real one? Not. You can see it, like Lotac, they are the ones salivating right now. They want any pick-off that enables them to just push this high ground because there's not really much left for them to do on the map.
They are done trying to take it by storm, I think. But that was their second Aegis.
Still, while they may do some chip damage, especially this Frost Shield has been the bane of their existence on any attempt to push high ground.
And Raging Potato has been doing more tower damage on the bottom tower by just walking up there and spin TPing out.
He'll eventually get it. Just takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, well, it's the... you know... How do you call that? It's like a... step-by-step chipping...
Slow
like
but steady wins the race.
Slow but steady wins the race. Yeah, the turtle and the hare, that sort of thing.
That's what you want. And Juggernaut
here again, he's just cutting
the waves.
He's gonna go.
And look at the bin as well. He's got the illusions in there. Double efficiency from this man. Raging Potato has definitely been the guy to look at the side of Detonators constantly. Just that frustrating type of carry that knows how to control the creep waves across the map, and it has bought crucial amounts of time for the side of Detonators, and
now
has built a
Ohio's
healthy
chose
lead.
stop. He had to wait for his team to back off again before he could do that, and there is no easy way for him to, like, he'd have to TP blind on Shrine. There he goes. His team has to retreat to allow for him to catch up. And I think Detonator was a little bit late there, because that moment where Ohio shows stop, you gotta be ready to immediately go for the bot lane and kill.
I'm just looking at what has been built on Juggernaut. He did go for the Nullifier next. Now, I don't know if I'm wrong, but it's more or less just the Rubik, right? Like, that's the big value, stop on the Yules, because elsewhere, like, Morphlin could always waveform out. You got the full stuff on Lion, maybe. But, moving in, Left's going to come out onto the task, held in place for a long time, Chain Frost bouncing around, Xion won't be able to move away in time, the stun comes out, Net is going to be the first to go down, the wards did get committed, maybe not in a favorable location, buyback comes out, rolling through, Yamate, that's the final brew, can they get it? Warriors Punch holds it in place, has to turn around for out a stun just before it dies, double kill already for Ben here, and on the hunt for more. But can they find it? Nullifier will very slowly connect on Ohio. Ice Shards through, long range, just stops Raging Potato. Now, Omnislash coming out, here on Ohio. He didn't have the borrowed time, no. 2 more seconds on the way. Raven even tried to save him with the Aphotic Shield. And now, Raven may be in a little bit of trouble. And a dodge coming out from the Nullifier. That is a very, very slow general. I don't know. The Ice Shards through, Raven in trouble. He's going to snowball in. Can they stun him up? Nice. Coming out. Going to keep him alive. Buyback's going to be used. BKB from Ben here, just trying to stay in this fight. Yamate going pretty deep right now. Fly Solo getting low on HP. They should be able to find him first. And now Hexed up. Ben here has no escape. Dragon Knight's going to go down next. Raging Potato, they pop the Lincoln's going to chase on through. Xion looks for the opportunity right now. Can he get it? Fade Bolt needs range for the lift. It looks like Raging Potato has actually dodged them out to the side.
That is, like, very close. Also for Samh, he was dying to Raven's illusions off of the side of that. Raven is very strong if he just gets to fight. And...
Big if.
Big if, exactly. Raging Potato.
How about if someone built a way of stunning this man while he does... Oh my... And they didn't even realize this, but that was a long TP. If someone was there, Raging Potato would most definitely be dead right now.
They know that he is not in the base right now, though.
They're moving in. Ohio is going to poke and prod here, force the matter because there's no Dragon Knight for 40 seconds. He does have buyback, but he doesn't have the Elder Dragon form. It's coming off cooldown now. Raging Pair is just moving in. Blade Fury to force them off this. They didn't actually frost shield the tower though, and that is a go for the side of Lotac. Going to move in right now, looking on to fly solo. They just shotgun him down, get him lift back. Comes out on a Raging Potato, needs to back away from this. Lincoln does get popped, buyback comes out from Lich, but they already lost the tower. And with that, Lotac can just disengage. Ohio is not the desirable target, despite the shards landing. Well, that's the opportunity that both teams have been waiting for. Finally, one team can go after these shrines.
It's been a long time coming. I think the Detonator, well, it depends, right? They could choose to just throw everything at Lotac there and sort of even things up again, maybe not lose their tower. But they choose to keep their buybacks. And it's mostly that, right? Their buybacks and their item progression. But they pay for it with their map control. So they gotta make something happen now. Because there are no buybacks, or barely any buybacks, on the Radiant right now. No Ohio, no Yamate,
well,
no Net.
They have the most important one, of course, which is Raven. This Morphling is the dealer of damage in these fights right now. But definitely if they could find Ohio, that would just open up everything. And Hex coming out, but he still has the borrowed time. Look at their reluctance to commit on the side. Dragon Tail comes in, now the Hex being used. Rubik, he's gone! Buyback instantly comes out though. Ohio, still on the side, just juking them out. Photic Shield is on him. War's Punch to slow him down a little bit, but they want to back up, and he wants to engage. Looking to move in right now. Hex is going to be there. They found a target. Brewmaster. Yamatel went way too deep, and he is brought down. No buyback available to him. They're going to turn on Abaddon now. They should be able to just burn through him. Even with the borrowed time, they don't care. Ice Shard slows him down a little bit. On the back foot, though, the snipe comes out. Sam H is down. Now they're going to turn around and Morphling. Raven, forced off away from this. The Chain Frost is not going to bounce enough to kill him off. He's going to turn around and fight. War's Punch is locking him in place right now. The stun through, dodged out there. Spike does not connect. And Ohio, well, no borrowed time for 12 seconds. This is problematic because he's the man who does not have buyback. Can they get him? Yes, they can. The gaze drags him in. They'll find the kill. On the side, chasing for more, looking for this opportunity. Snowball through. Net stunned up. They should be able to Warrior Punch him up. There it is. 1,000 damage brings him down. Chasing through for more. And oh my god, Lotac 1 by 1. BKB. Benno moving forward. Looking on Chuan. He has the means to get away from this though. He's too fast. Double Rubik. Do you want to mess with this, you say? Let's go. Moving in. Raven. Lincoln's get popped. Hex comes out. Nullifier on him as well. Morphling still trying to move away. He does have the waveform. Should be fine here. And actually, Detonators, they need to prioritize the targets here. They need to go for the buildings.
Their waves are not actually pushed in. Even the bot wave is not quite here yet. Oh man, Yamate's positioning there on the shrine forces such a bad engagement. You can see that Ohio does not want to go in, but Yamate doesn't have any buyback, so Ohio reluctantly creeps up the high ground, and their entire fight just gets fractured.
Mistake that has cost them a lot because this should be 2 lanes, actually. They don't need to leave. Sam H has the wards in 20. How respectful are they feeling? It's not about respect at this stage, it's about identifying what you can and can't do, and what they can do is take 2 lanes and pay no price.
They smell blood.
Waveform in, actually BKB, Raven going for this, shotgun comes out, he gets rid of Wrath the first. Looking on a second target, Tusk getting low on HP, he'll go down. Raven with the BKB just standing his ground, will waveform away. Needs to be careful, the Omni Slash is available for Raging Potato. Lincoln gets popped on Raven, he can look to go in once more. Benno being slowed down actually by Chuan. Waveform through, they don't want to get close to this Juggernaut, they need to be careful. Okay, he's dragging in Raven, but he morphed his strength. Nullifier coming out. They don't do enough damage to him, though. They need to be careful themselves. Juggernaut. He's going to be stunned up. Gaze that was stolen. There's a spin going to come out. Is it going to be quick enough for the long TP? Raging Potato just about makes it out. But because Lich went out first, that was almost Juggernaut going down.
Oh, the master of the spin TP, isn't he?
He never fails to amaze here. But Lotac, despite losing 2 lanes, they hold, and Roche is up. They can look towards that now.
Their instincts are going to be to check it out immediately. Pings from Net. Raven is in there, and Raven knows that this game is all... It's 1v9 by now, basically. I haven't touched on this much yet, but I don't really like Ohio's item build. I think it's greedy and selfish. He's only now going into the Aghanims, where if he would have just gone either a Blink Dagger after the Radiance or the Aghanims, he could have contributed so much more to fights. But instead he's mostly been sitting there, not really dealing any damage, not really soaking up any either.
He's been basically ignored.
Yeah.
They can afford to go after Raven. Like, Ohio is never a threat in their eyes, it's just an annoyance on the side. He needs to turn himself into a threat somehow.
Well, with the Aghanims, he is at least going to be able to keep his team alive. And he has a very short cooldown on that borrow attempt. So that means that Lotac will be able to fight pretty much perpetually.
And they'll need to. They're 2 lanes down. They need to take something response. Moving in right now. Yamate does have the split coming off cooldown as well. He reached level 20, which means he has a lot more health on the primal split units. Raven, hexed up, trying to move in. Dragon Tail comes out. Aquatic Shield is on him. They commit the wards as well. Force staff away, though. The shackles do connect, but it doesn't matter. Yamate trying to move away. Raging Tail chases through. Wash Punch does come out. Yamate can turn around. Split is there. The gaze drags in. Tusk going down. The finger to make sure he dies off. Now the BKB coming out. Omni Slash has been used. Can they fire up against it? The question. Yamate, he's still got this Panda alive. They're going to turn around. Juggernaut down to half HP. He needs to move way quicker than this. Cyclone is out onto the Dragonite in the meantime. Yamate is still alive because, of course, the Storm Spirit did live. As a result, he won't go down.
That is such a crucial Force Staff usage. Without that, Lotac are once again committed to a fight that's half on a high ground.
Lotac have a hard choice to make, though. Look at the base. The creep wave is pushed in. They are all in right now if they do this. And the wards will run out. That should signal Lotac's choice. What's it going to be? They're going in. Or they're reluctant.
I think not.
They need to go back, though.
It's too big of a wave.
Yeah.
It's too much damage on the Deer Force.
Well, like, you could go in and you could breach for that fight, but yeah, I think you just gave away damage. Like, at that stage, you either back off straight away or you just go. As a result, they almost lose one of their tier 4s. That would have been a pretty golden opportunity, especially with the Elder Dragon form on cooldown, the wards then expiring.
It's very hard, though. I don't agree with this retreat over towards the left side either. I think that you want to check out the right side of the map right now while Yamate is presumably pushing that wave out so that you get to meet up again. And instead, Yamate is still in the base. His team is mid and they're shoving again.
I think it's the scenario of buybacks, right?
Back.
Like, that's why they're so reluctant, is their buyback state right now. They've got a few more online now. So holding off didn't necessarily like hurt them from that perspective, but because you let Tusk respawn now, he's going to be very useful in these choke points with the ice shards.
They have Aegis refresher cheese.
And yet they are very, very careful about their moves. The problem is, like, they spend so long out of base, and every time that bot lane is just pushing in because it does have the super creeps coming through. So if they want to make a move, they have to be very quick, and the frustration, especially the Frost Shield, just slows down this push so much.
Are they going on 2 sides now?
Oh, lift, Dragon
Yes,
Knight.
they are.
Yep, they're just trying to split their attention right now. Hex comes out, Morphin being dragged in, Raven going ever deeper here. Now the disarm coming out, Juggernaut can't do anything right now. Shackles, as he Morphin goes to full strength. Chain Frost bouncing through, but not enough. The BKB out from Raven. He says hit the objectives and nothing else. The wards have been committed and they can't do anything with it. Juggernaut trying to fire up against this. The lift lasts so damn long though. He'll look to move away. Actually, as he's getting low on HP, the Aegis actually still has a lot of time left on it.
Yep. And this was the move they needed to make. Threaten top, get the ice shield out, and Raven, the man who can't die at this point, you put him on that mid-rax. It's gone now. They finally get the equalizer they need, and now they are going to push through the bot lane. Clever.
They achieve a lot more than that because the Serpent Wards were also committed, which means, once again, Samh, like, in the last several minutes, has not been able to use these in the way that he desired.
Definitely not, but then again, the equilibrium is right back in the middle again. I think that for like defending against the high ground pushes, it's a pretty good use for it right now.
And he has no choice, that's the thing.
The
Same with the Elder Dragon.
Omni Slash wasn't used is more important, I think.
I like Ben Hu's build, by the way. He's made himself relevant even when he doesn't have Elder Dragon form. He's gone for the Orchid, he's got the AC. Just anything and everything so that he can actually contribute, even if they get jumped in the downtime. No matter how small that might be.
Once again, a smoke around the Roshes.
Lotac, they're looking in all the wrong places because Detonators, they're getting aggressive. They are invading Lotac's jungle in the bottom half of the map. Is this going to be the counter smoke play? This might be. They have to suspect someone's up. They have got a smoke available on Lich. And a DD on Juggernaut.
Lotac invested super heavily into the top half of the map again. They're... Because I thought they were going to push through bot because then you equalized, but they're saying, no, we want momentum on our side for the longer game and have creeps pushing in on top at all times.
They do almost have that tier 3 as well. And the important thing to highlight is once you just chip that down, Fly Solo's job is much harder. Like, these Frost Shields have brought a lot of time on the towers, but then once they go down, once you got both Raxes, you know you're going to prioritize the melee Rax, so you almost always lose the range Rax. And range of 10 in the mid lane. Snowball coming through, it's got 3 in it. It's trying to jump on a higher first, it's not an optimal target, the finger through. The damage on the DK is huge, is going to go down, and now BKB up, Rage of Potato trying to fight with this. Still has the Omni Slash to work with, but not a target to go for. Buyback is used on DK on the back foot. Cyclone connects with Shadow Shaman, means he can't do anything right now. Slows are going to come into effect on Task, and he's going to go down. This lift lasts so long, the Chain Frost bouncing through. Yamate just tanging it all up as he moves through. Rage of Potato in trouble, the Hex coming through. Have they got enough damage? There's the drop of the wards. Net protected by the Yules. Come back down and do a mess. He should be falling regardless of this. But they force a lot of buybacks out of Detonators. And all just to get that kill onto the line.
So much of that BKB on the Juggernaut is wasted. And it already feels bad to buy BKB on a Jug. You're like, I already have my... Well, he walked in, got smacked back.
Ohio? They're going in again. They see Rage of Potato and they know he doesn't have the BKB anymore. He has to retreat away from this. Telekinesis lift again. Ice Frog, why? What is this duration? What is this insanity?
Hey, if it gives us Rubik mid-games like this one...
It definitely does. Even Rubik's support at this stage in the game. And of course, he did go as expected for that cooldown on the telekinesis. So the uptime for this is absurd.
There's going to be 2 people permanently in the air at this rate.
Just flailing around, going, what is happening here? Well,
1 permanent Brewmaster, 1 permanent Rubik, some more Yule Scepters.
I mean, if you actually increase the damage on either Raven or Ohio, even Juggernaut dies during those telekinesis lifts.
Yep.
And that's, I'm talking with Frost Shields right now, because like Frost Shields are what is keeping him in these fights. That damage reduction is crucial to their Juggernaut falling.
Ohio finished up his Ags. For me, this would be go time. Also would have been go time.
Well, Roche is up soon. I think that might be their go time, but smoke play coming out from Detonators. They are looking to go on the aggressive here. And if they could get Yamate, they'd feel in control. Because that Brew Split still does a lot. Especially to the Shaman, who has no way of not being cycloned. Raven. That is not the optimal entrance kill. Oh, they're going to go for it. They actually turn to the Brewmaster. He's pretty tanky now. Slack plumbing out. Looking on the Shadow Shaman. Can they do enough? The Chain Frost being used. The damage on the Sam H is used. Now the finger through. Too much on the DK. Snowball just by a little bit of time. But BKB used by Raven. Standing his ground against this. Can they do enough? Benio's going to get low on HP. Burning through him quick enough. Raven. Can he find the kill? Yes, he can. Turns back in the Brewmaster because he's much more tanky. Turning around. Stuns come through. Hex is there. Touchdown. Now Juggernaut left behind. He can't do anything but die here. They may have found the kill they need. The buyback is available for the Juggernaut especially, but Detonators, they are crumbling as they try and retreat from this fight. As Raven almost gets himself a rampage.
Did you see the damage reduction from that Aghanims? The Omni Slash did nothing. Before he cleaved through an entire Brewmaster ult, and now he's just...
He just tickles.
It's incredible. And I see that Sam H is putting in a really valiant effort to push out the top wave as fast as he can, but I don't think he's in time.
And I think the other thing to look out there is Raven turning into the Brewmaster. I was wondering where he's going to get more damage, and of course the crits that come out from the Drunken Brawler, doing all the work he needs.
Look at that attack speed from the double abandon.
What do you do? Like, look at Jug. Jug actually left base. He doesn't have a TP. Detonators look like they've given up on this. They're going to actually try and force them back as they head for the throne, but Sam H is nowhere near. He's going to blink in now, but guess who's here? Rubik with a steal, gets the wards, use them against Sam H. Tries for the refreshing opportunity, but shackled on the spot, forces him in. That GG comes out as Detonator know they've lost this one, and Lotac, they clean it up 2-0.
Oh, but that wasn't easy for him.
They had to work hard for it, but you got to give them credit. It took time, but eventually, like the issue that I always saw here is every time Detonator came out of their base, the high ground defense was great.
Yeah.
But they were always playing around this kind of cheesy split push opportunity. And the moment Lotac realized that they could do more damage when they split up, it seemed very simple for Lotac. Even more simple if Detonator came to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to come back to Ohio's item build here, but man, if you just built that Aghanim's third item instead of fifth, you know?
He was feeling strong. He was a very hench lad, all right? He didn't need it.
He was, but...
His teammates weren't.
Yeah. You only need that short amount of time to survive that initial burst, and then by that point, Raven is going to have 1 or 2 of them brought down, and you can continue the fight. And that's who I'm going to give this entire game to. This is all Raven, baby.
It had to be, especially that last fight, crucial, as I was saying, like he took the Drunken Brawler. Because if he didn't have that damage buff, I mean, that was the concern that I was getting to, is like, actually, you looked at it, Lotac were reaching their ceiling on damage. That was the biggest concern. Detonators, though, they thought they had that. They were coming out confidently, and for good reason. I mean, partly because they had to, but partly because of that damage threshold that was approaching. But that does mean that actually Lotac, they just strike on through with 2-0. So they're in the finals. They need an opponent. And that will not be decided today. Oh no, you thought you were going to get more, you're not. No. Tomorrow, you will have to come back to see Detonators face up against... I don't actually... Let me check the results.
Should be the winner of TNC versus Admiral.
It should. And I don't know... It says that's all for today. Let me ask him. Wait, or is LB tomorrow? No, LB's tomorrow. What am I talking about? I'm an idiot. I'm getting confuzzled. That's what it is.
Happens to the best of us.
So lower bracket tomorrow, folks, which will be TNC versus...
Admiral?
Yes, that's correct.
TNC versus
I'm
Admiral.
having like brain farts here, but yeah.
Winner against Detonator.
Yes.
Winner against Lotac.
I believe that is the case. So, we're done here. We're going to go and rest up. Early start tomorrow, same time as before. That's going to be 8 PM CET. See you all there.